Hi Year 8s, I'm here to introduce the next task, which is going to be a written evaluation. In this written evaluation, you're going to be demonstrating to me your ability to identify the different elements of mime and drama in your own performances for both your individual mime and your group mime. And you're going to evaluate how you use these skills to communicate meaning to your audience. There are 5 questions where you're going to be reflecting on those 2 performances, and you need to answer them in full sentences with some examples. The more details, the better. It must be written in past tense because you've already done your performances. So you need to be using words like was, I did, we were, and of course, because you're talking about your own performance, you can use personal pronouns. So I, me, and my are totally acceptable. The first question asks you to describe 4 of the mime skills that you learnt throughout the last 6 weeks. So remember, when we're talking about mime skills, we're not talking about our general performance skills. We're talking about those specific to movement and mime. So you might talk about isolation. You might talk about the daisy and the grapefruit in terms of showing shape. You might talk about the click and release to show tension and weight. You might talk about how you show size. You also might talk about how you use your eyes to focus your audience. After that, after you've described to me your understanding of those skills, you need to give some examples of where and when you or others in your group or individual mime have used one or more of these skills. And you need to be specific here. I want you to really tell me what object, what moment of the mime demonstrated that skill. In the third question, I'm asking you to consider all of those things, your mime skills that you've learned, your general performance skills. Remember, that's about energy, not having your back to the audience, staying in character, and your rehearsal time, and reflect on how you could have improved the final product. What would you do differently? What would you change? How could you make it better? And be really specific here again. Give some examples. The next question asks you to comment on the challenges that you had both during rehearsal and performance stages. So that might be one or more. I want you to really think about what was something you struggled with? What was a problem that you had? How did you overcome it? And then the final part asks you to comment on what aspects of the performances were most successful for you. What were the ones that you think you did very, very well at? What did you nail? What did you feel confident in? You need to write a minimum. So that's a minimum of 200 words, and it's going to be individual work and mostly done in out-of-class time. Here is what you're being assessed on. Again, you're being assessed on your ability to identify those skills and then to analyze them. So that means to pull them apart and give examples of where you use them. You're also going to evaluate your own performances. You're going to weigh up what was good, what was not so good, and how those skills that you learned were used to communicate meaning in your mimes. I hope that was helpful in describing the task for you. You can also see on Google Classroom an A example and a C example, and we're going to go through these in class. This is going to be due next week. Please see Google Classroom for the exact due date. Good luck.